as always, leave no trace.
Right, so here we are then on day 2 of the Devon coast to coast. Today I'm just leaving site. Nice wild camp on Dartmoor last night. Heading off for water this morning before riding up to Okehampton and another wild camp, a wet and windy one up on Dartmoor above Okehampton there. That's of interest. Stay with me.
Yeah, back at the waterfall. Out of water. I've got to say, this is a lifesaver. Interesting architecture again. Neve Village. Another fine example of very interesting village architecture. Okay, so I thought I'd have a little stop at this point. This is a gem bridge. It was built specifically for this route, replaced another bridge, I believe. It's obviously in need of replacing. Not often in this country we spend this sort of money on this sort of thing for a cycling and walking route. So, yeah, very impressed at that. The Gem Bridge. Okay, so there we go then. The original Walkham Viaduct, which was the original viaduct or bridge over the river there, was one designed by the famous Isambard Kingdom Brunel, who we know all about in Bristol. So yeah, there we go. You can see, I think it's tall wooden stone pillars with a wooden platform on top, so obviously it was never going to last forever. That was the original one, and then it was changed. It's like a cast iron one there. Now we've got the Gem Bridge, which is there. I love an information board. This is something I've noticed on several of the churches in this area. These sort of 3 small spires on top of the tower. I've not seen that before, that I can remember. In Bristol and Somerset, they seem to have one on the side, and that was new to me. And here they've got four, one in each corner. So that really is interesting architecture. Well, the rain had to come eventually. I wish I was as hardy as the sheep, but I'm taking advantage of this bit of cover. It might just be a hard and fast shower. The last sign down the road said summer route.
Pausing.
Wasn't really banking on that, but here goes. Terry's All Bikes, venturing where no Brompton has ventured before, discovering new trails and civilizations in the back of beyond. When it said summer trail, it could have said off-road trail, or I could have guessed that's what it meant. Well, it's raining again, and that's the first sign I've seen for the Dartmoor National Park, as you can see. There's the road ahead, pretty typical of what I've come across today. Lots of very quiet little country roads. When I say typical, it's not actually, because there's 2 lanes on this and most of it has been a single lane. Yeah. Anyway, forever onwards and upwards, so it would seem. Lydford Gorge. I would have considered stopping and taking a look. It's closed. The village of Lydford, dating back to Saxon times. Church, Norman castle and jail. Very interesting architecture. So interesting, I'm going to have to stop and take a look inside the Castle Inn. Lunchtime. So, it's exactly what you'd expect inside. Very, very lovely, cosy, oldie worldy country pub. Log fires burning. It's quite pleasant in one sense, but it's not that cold. And I'd like to keep an eye on the bike, so I'm in the also not unpleasant garden. You can probably hear the rain, but yeah, I'm out of the rain for now, so just gonna enjoy. Bit of shandy, just on the shandy, bit of shandy, tribute, fair ale. So, as you can see from that, that's the Granite Way now, Route 27 to Okehampton. So, up to this point, I've been pretty much following the Drake Way, named after Sir Francis Drake, and different things on there to do with his life. He's the house he lived in and places he lived and such. And I'm now on the Granite Way. So, we'll see how that fares. It's been quite hilly to get here, I will say. And yes, it is still raining. Now that really is interesting architecture.
Okay, so this is me just arriving in the town of Okehampton. I had a little look round here, a little bit underwhelmed to be honest. I expected it to be a little bit more touristy, a little bit more oldie worldy than it is. Anyway, I spent a little bit of time in Okehampton, had a little look around, and then headed back up for Dartmoor. It's quite a climb back up out of Okehampton to the campsite I had in mind, a little place I found just using Google Maps, back up on Dartmoor there where the wild camping is legal. So I didn't get any film on the way up, partly because of the weather and partly because it was hard work. Anyway, here we go.
Okay, so this is 9 Stone Circle. I've found this place on Google Maps and headed to it as a possible campsite, but it's pretty windy up here and it's quite exposed and also rather difficult to get to Brompton to this point. So I've actually found a spot just down there by the track behind some grouse, some bushes. So gorse, that's the word I'm looking for, gorse bush. So I'm going to head back that way and set up camp there. The view down the valley is something else. Okay, so there we are, set up for the night. It absolutely belted it down just as I was setting up the tent, so the inner's got a little bit wet. I was already putting that up before the outer. Lovely view down the valley when that rain clears. So yeah, not too shabby a spot. The 9 Stones Stone Circle is just up there. I can sort of make out the stones from here. You probably can't among the humps and bumps, but yeah, it's sort of there. Yeah, so there we go. It's a bit cold and blustery, very different to last night, sat out in the chair. So I'll quite quickly be retiring to the tent. So we'll see how we go. Well, it's quite wet and windy out there, so I'm hunkered down in the tent. The coffee's on, so that's not too bad. I've had to leave the bike outside so that because the bag and everything is wet and I don't want to bring them in here. As I said, it started raining as I was putting the tent up, so some of the inner is also wet. So yeah, doing the best I can. I'll come back to you later. Right, hopefully you can hear me above the wind there. Above the wind, not the wind, the rain really, on the tent. It's a lovely sound of the rain on the tent. At least I'm dry in here, so that's the good thing. Anyway, I'm putting tea on, evening meal. So just to show you what I've got there, I've got a pasta bolognese, dehydrated, perfect sort of stuff for the jet boil there, which I'm using. And I'm going to wash that down with this Shiraz that I picked up earlier in Tavistock. So that's my evening meal. It's a little bit difficult in here with the way things are. Some things a bit wet and whatnot. So that might be the last time I speak to you this evening. Depends what happens really, if anything happens worth talking about. If not, I'm just going to get my evening meal, get myself settled down for the night, and that'll be that. So, see you in the morning.
I don't know if this is picking up this background sound, buzzing sound. It's sort of 12:30 at night or in the morning, however you want to put it. No idea what that is. Answers on the postcard, please.
Right, packing up the tent, and you guessed it, it's raining again. Happy days, one wet tent. Never mind. Right.
Right, so there we go then, that's day 2 over, and another fine camp, wild camp up on Dartmoor there. Perhaps a little bit more what you'd expect up on Dartmoor, wet and windy weather, but yeah, enjoyed it all the same. Quite a strange night with that noise that woke me up, and it was actually quite loud, and it was getting quieter as I got that little bit of video there, so no idea what that was. It sounded like a drone, but who would be flying a drone up there at that time of night in the dark? I don't know. If you have any clues as to what that might be, please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, yeah, so that's day 2. So day 3, that's the 3rd video then being released shortly, and that will cover the journey up to Barnstaple, where I find another campsite, and then on to Ilfracombe to complete the Devon coast to coast. If that sounds of interest to you, then look out for that video, and thanks very much again for watching this one. Hope to see you next time.